back. My first guest tonight is one of the stars of Dawson's Creek, which ends its 6-year run this May. Now he can be seen in the critically acclaimed new movie, The Safety of Objects. Please welcome Joshua Jackson.
When you borrow somebody else's clothes.
Looks good. You look snappy. You know, the Dawson's Creek is coming to an end. Yeah. And although that's sad in some ways, I think what's good is that you guys didn't go on too long.
12 years.
Because Beverly Hills 90210, if you watch like the last year, those kids are in their mid-50s.
Yeah, it's not a healthy thing when you're with the walker on. I love you.
Yeah, right.
Give me a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it wasn't the right, but you guys are going to end, and this has got to be, it's very emotional, I would think, because you've all been living together and working together and making this show. You guys going to have a huge blowout party?
They're planning a big one at the end, which is great because it's it's nice to be able to say goodbye. The only downside is because it's the end, they want to have cameras there, which I'm a little leery of because
cameras recording the party.
Yeah, you remember when Cheers went off the air?
Yeah.
And they actually recorded the last behind the scenes, and they were all crying, and everybody was drunk, and I don't really want that to be on the air. You know, there's it's the last opportunity to really tell the people off that you wanted to for 6 years, and make that embarrassing profession of love, you know.
So you intend to drink a lot, is what you're saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's clear you'll have no inhibitions. Yeah. You're going to be embarrassing.
I just love you, man. You're just a beautiful human being. Yeah, that'll be.
There's going to be a lot of that. Are you really going to tell anybody you love them for real?
I think they just cause, even if I'm lying, I think it's just important to end it off with something like that.
You should really pick a cast member and just creep them out by making it as intense, you know.
Maybe I'll start like the secret admirer thing now. Start leaving them roses. That would be good. Really terrify them before the end. That's a good way to end a show.
Yeah. Make it James Vanderbeek too, and that'll really add a creepy element to it. Surprise! It was me. I love you, James, and I always have. And if I can't have you, no one will. All that kind of thing. It's just, and then that'll be on TV.
Yeah, that's a good way to end the show.
And you'll be ruined. Did you ever have a real romance on the... Now I feel like the editor for Tiger Beat magazine. Did you ever have a real romance on the set?
What's your perfect date? There was actually in the very beginning. Katie and I did have a romance, which is ancient history now. But I can't tell you how much fun it is to have an actual romance, and then we broke up, and then a year later to have an on-screen romance. Because there's nothing more fun than going to work with your ex-girlfriend every day. Sorry, Katie, I love you, but it was a little difficult there for a while.
Right, because they write it in, and in a way they make it. The writers probably did that in some sick, torturing way. We know these guys went out and broke up, but now we're going to write them being together again, and just
when you're reading the scripts and you're actually like, didn't I say that to her? That's not healthy. This shouldn't be. Oh my God.
It was all recorded by those cameras, and they all wrote it down. Last time you were on the show, you said something that caught my attention. And we talked about it, but I'm curious how it's going. Yes, exactly. Nothing catches my attention. You bought your childhood home.
Yeah.
You bought the home that you grew up in.
Yeah.
And you're fixing it up and you're living in it by yourself.
Yeah. Well, not yet.
How is that going, first of all?
It was a little strange, the beginnings, because it was sort of my mom and dad's house, so I had to fix it up a little bit to make it into the bachelor pad, which essentially meant,
Did you kick them out?
Yeah, I was like, you two, out.
Yeah.
God, that would be great. That's the only reason I bought the house, really, was to throw my mom and dad out.
They had sold it and moved on, but you bought the house, and it is kind of a strange thing that you can buy the house where you were a kid and then say, I'm in charge now.
Yeah. Which is great. I stay up to all hours of the night, which is really important to me now, and I eat crackers in bed, which I never got to do before. It's been a great experience.
Wow, you're living on the edge, buddy.
Yeah.
I stay up past 11 and eat crackers. We get inside the dangerous mind of Joshua Jackson.
It's the glitz and glamour of Hollywood.
So, what are you doing to the house? How are you fixing it up so that it fits your bachelor cool lifestyle?
Well, mostly it just is like having a profusion of beer in every room. That's really what. At one point I was trying to get it so that I could have a central keg and then just have my mother's going to die when she hears this, but have taps in every room, but that didn't quite work.
That's something that kids think about doing when they're 11.
Yeah. Well,
and there'll be a Pop-Tart dispenser in every room.
Exactly.
And robots will, give me a bubble bath.
I'm living the dream.
Did you ever draw your dream house? Because when I was a kid, that's the thing I would do. Like, you get on a conveyor belt, and it takes you, and there's marshmallows in this room.
Into the Batcave.
Actually, that's the house I have now.
Exactly. You see? You're living the dream.
You should come to my marshmallow room. Bring Vanderbeek.
But we'll be together forever after the show's
exactly. Done. So really, you were thinking about having a system of where beer is running through pipes through the floor?
I just remember, like, 17 years old, sitting around with my friends going, you know what would be really cool, dude, if we, like, just had taps everywhere in the house.
Right.
So now I get to live that out.
Right. That'll be really cool for a while, and then if you keep the house and get older, it'll get sad. There's liquor in pipes in every room. Poor Joshua.
In 4 years, when I haven't been outside the house and someone drops by, I got the big bushy beard. You want to come in and see the taps?
Yeah.
It's great.
And one of the walls is leaking beer. It's just coming in. I don't want that to leak. Now, you know what's so funny is when you watch the show, Dawson's Creek, everybody falls in love with the little town where you guys live, and you shoot it in an actual gorgeous little town.
Beautiful Wilmington, which is spectacular.
Wilmington, really nice town. But I understand that since you started shooting the show, it's changed a little bit, it's grown up a little bit, and now there are 2 strip clubs in that town.
In the 6 years that we've been in Wilmington, they've gone from none to 2. And I actually like to pick up a little work there on the weekends, you know, just for fun.
Doing what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that went over well. See, this is my adequate material. I had good material before I came, but you said adequate.
And then I announced only adequate tonight. Yeah. That's all we need.
Yeah.
So, the strip clubs. Let's talk about that, because that has my attention, too. Okay. There were none, but I'm always curious if there are strip clubs in a really small town. That's kind of tricky, because strip clubs in a huge city, there's an anonymity there for the people working there and for the people that go there. But in a small town, you don't want to go in and see Clem from the grocery store gyrating, you know?
All of a sudden, exactly. The girl, like, can I get paper or plastic? Wait a minute, I know you. Yeah, that's not good. It is too small. Or you run into somebody's daughter, which would be bad, and it's the South, so I think they have to kill you for things like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's not good.
So, I mean, if you even went there, people would know that you had been there also because you're...
Well, it's a town... I mean, literally, Wilmington in the winter is a town of 35,000 people, so if there are... I don't know how many strippers are employed. But let's
nationwide?
No, let's say that there's
45,000 nationwide.
45,000 nationwide? Okay.
Yeah. If you want to break it down state by state, I can do that, too.
Okay, good. You have it zip code by zip code.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. It's bad when we both say the
I like
same
that
time,
awkward
isn't it?
silence.
Yeah.
Did you like that? I love that. Did you see what happened? That was great. Those moments to me are precious. When all the fun chitter-chatter stops for a second, and there's that ugly dead silence. The deep space silence. Let's try and have another one. Okay. That was good. Now, let's talk about the movie The Safety of Objects.
Okay.
Your love interest in this movie is 20 years older than you. Older woman.
Something like that, yeah.
Or, okay, thereabouts. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get a call now. That's a theme for me, because the first job I ever had was on a movie called Crooked Hearts, and it was with Mark Helgenberger, and I was 11. And then in the beginning of Dawson's Creek...
You had a love interest when you were 11.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's a pretty sweet job. That's why I wanted to become an actor. I mean, come on. And then when I started the show, another redhead, the teacher, and now I have Patricia Clarkson. So I'm like spacing out the red. You better watch out.
I love you.
Maybe you should come to the rap party. There's a whole thing going on here.
Yeah. Well, Dawson's Creek, of course, airs Wednesday nights at 8 on the WB. And The Safety of Objects is playing right now in select cities.
Yeah, and it just this Friday it's going to open up a bit wider, so you'll be able to see it.
That always sounds weird. All right, thank you very much. Good to have you here. Joshua Jackson, everyone. Grant Rosenmeyer coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. I don't know. It just always sounds.
Jerry was a guy who still believed in love.
It gets sadder and sadder for La Bamba. They ratchet it up. Look at that. That's really, that'll make that tambourine look cooler. Throw some maracas in there. Somewhere Davy Jones from the Monkees is laughing at you, buddy. All right. Just see if you can add a third, more humiliating instrument before we go. Do you have one of those triangles? You can dangle it off his head. All right. All right, coming up tomorrow night on the show from the brand new movie Agent Cody Banks, the star of Malcolm in the Middle, Frankie Muniz is going to be here. From the show All-American Girl, former Spice Girl Jerry Halliwell will be on the show. And headmistress, I had to throw that in there, headmistress of the world's first cross-dressing academy. Well, that's going to be good. Yeah. Veronica Vera, so watch that show. Cross-dressing. It's not so bad. You know, I'm going to take a moment here and just and reflect, and I don't